Previously on this channel.
Now if I can only figure out why my screen is blank. Yep, that's right. We're back with the 12 o'clock labs mini gauge, and as you probably saw in the last episode with this bike, it's not working. What I started to notice after some riding and just kind of looking at it while the bike was on was that I started to get a little bit of lines, a little bit of streaks in the screen, but everything else was perfectly visible, so I figured, maybe I just got a little unlucky and have some dead pixels. But after riding it around for a little bit more, at one point I looked down and the screen is completely white. So then after that point, every time I turned on the bike, sometimes it would give me the logo of the 12 o'clock labs, which initially comes on, but then I would just get a completely blank screen. Sometimes if you look at it in the right light, you can kind of see the numbers, but you'd have to be like basically parallel with the screen itself, just barely looking at it in order to see those. Anytime you'd be looking where you're at in a seated position or a standing position on the bike, you wouldn't see a single thing, no matter what, no matter how dark or how bright it was outside. Nothing. I checked everything. Everything's nice and clean. All the connections were perfectly fine. It's just that the screen just went out and just up and died on me, I guess. I will say it was kind of weird. I did play around with the magnet. So you usually put a magnet on the top here for changing the settings, for going through the menu, and that was interesting. I could see all the menu options and the little indicator going through it. But then the second I took that magnet off, it went completely black again. So it was kind of odd there. So I don't know what was happening with this thing, but I decided to go ahead and reach out to 12 o'clock labs. I wasn't completely sure what they would be able to do. I didn't know if they had any kind of warranty, refund policy, anything like that. And also I didn't buy it from 12 o'clock labs themselves, but just emailed them on their website, just their general contact. And the very next day I got a reply from someone, and they were very nice. We went through it. I sent them pictures and explained the situation to them. They basically just responded with, hey, no worries, give us your address, we'll send you a new one, just return the old one. No big deal. So I thought, perfect, that's great. And so a couple of days later, I get it in the mail. All right, so some time has passed. We had some back and forth with 12 o'clock labs, and they provided me a brand new one. So they mentioned something in their email saying something about like, you have to take the screen protector off or something. I'm not 100% sure what they were talking about, but this might tell me or not. This is just a completely new gauge. Perfect. I'm just hoping that there's no changes to the dimensions at all, because now I have a pre-cut one. It would really suck to drill into that, but hey, if it means a working gauge, it means a working gauge. Well, we'll start tearing off the old one and plug this thing in first and see if it works. All right, first let's just see what things are currently looking at. I haven't turned this on in a little while. Yep. That's a blank screen right there. Oh, there it is. All right, moment of truth. Hey, look at that. Cool. Well, let's finish the install. Oh, forgot about my cutout right here. The accessory panel actually has to come off. Yay! I swear I pulled this thing off like at least 25 times. All that just to get this one little cord up and out of the way. There we go. So we got the new gauge in, but this gauge does not have all the data that I used to have. So we gotta, see, it's all zeroed out. Thankfully, I knew this was going to happen, so I took a screenshot of the general settings, which is an option on the menu. I guess I was lucky enough to get the screen, so it kind of worked for a little bit, at least enough that I could take a picture of it. I guess we can start with the easy, which is just adding the odometer. At least I have that. Unfortunate that I missed the hours, so not going to be able to put that back in, but whatever. So according to the bike, I'm at 1,488. Wow. I think I was supposed to have done another oil change and a valve check by now. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing in my next video. 8 and then a 7. Because I actually have not reset the odometer, the trip meter, since I bought this thing. So I actually have it down to the decimal. Speed settings. So that, oh man, I just realized I probably have to redo the GPI, don't I? Speed calibrate. This was a multiplier. I had the speed calibration at 10.233, so that's what I gotta put in. 3. Nice. View mode, I guess. My preference was RPM 12, because I don't really go past 12,000 RPM, but I'm going to change this one to speed and RPM 12 because I want to make sure that the speedo is working. Okay, I think that's everything. Now I have to go do the whole GPI reset. I guess we'll do that later this week. Too late tonight to do that, but at least we have everything in here and we have a working gauge. Next day, got the GPS speedo just to make sure that this isn't compromised in any way, because this does have the speed corrector from 12 O'Clock Labs in it, which is also connected into the mini gauge, so I don't know about all the connections there. It should be just fine, and I don't expect it to change, but just in case, then we'll do the GPI indicator. Whoa. Okay. 41 miles an hour, 101, 124, 122, 140, 169, 200. Yep, that's wrong. Alright, that was a quick fix. I was dumb. Incredibly dumb. I put multiplier, but I should have put divider. And I probably should have watched my own video again to make sure that that was the case, because I need to lower it, not increase it. So, that was a quick fix. All I had to do was just tell it to divide, not multiply. And now, as we roll it, yep, 2 miles an hour. That's right. So far, everything's matching. 30, 31, 32 across the board. All right. Only went a couple miles, but safe to say the speedo is accurate, so that's good. One less thing to worry about. All right, we're back on the exact same stretch of road we did last time. Let's see if we get this right the first time. Learning gear 1, on to number 2. I gotta say, with the throttle mod, this is so much easier because maintaining the RPM is much more manageable. And over the crest on learning 6. Yeah, we did it! Nice, first try! Let's roll through the gears, see if it worked. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a quick shift. Wow, even if I just go through it all the way up to 6th gear and 30 miles an hour, it still shows gear 6. Cool. Well, with that, I think we have everything set. Speedo's working nicely. Gear position indicator is working nicely. And most importantly, I can see that very clearly on the screen as intended. Thanks to 12 O'Clock Labs for being so accommodating and willing to swap out my existing gauge for a brand new one. Also, something I noticed, that even though the gauge itself looks basically the same, I think I have a different version, or like maybe an updated gauge with new firmware, something like that, because there were a couple of small things like in the settings that I think had more information. And also, the funny thing was, when I tried to use the magnet to go through the menu, I was using my old magnet with the original gauge and it wasn't working, and I looked and it looks like the magnet that they provided me with this new one is stronger, or at least is thicker. It's twice as thick as the old one. So something might have changed. 12 O'Clock Labs, if you see this, maybe you can confirm. If anyone else is watching this and has a mini gauge and had any issues, or if it's been perfectly fine, please let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious to see if this is an issue that others have experienced, or maybe I just happened to get a dud, a lemon, and it was a one-off. Hoping that that's the case, the latter, not the former. Either way, if something does happen to this gauge, I will certainly update everybody. Well, as a matter of fact, I can update you right now. Actually, what you've been watching has been filmed months ago. This was filmed back in June, and I've had this video up on the channel ready to go, but it's just been pushed and pushed and pushed for more recent, more of the time videos. But that gives me an opportunity now to at least update you on the last 3 or 4 months. And what I can tell you is that this gauge has been flawless. I've seen absolutely no streaking, no pixelation, nothing but numbers, what I expect to see. So that's all good, and I'm pretty sure what I received previously was just an anomaly, a lemon, and a one-off. But I am still curious to those of you if you're seeing similar issues that I was seeing previously with your 12 O'Clock Labs mini gauge, and if so, please let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.